Games. I'm your host, Toby. Hello, and welcome to 3 Games. It's Toby once again, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about the recently announced state of play and its implication for the next fiscal report that will be released the day after, and just to talk about what are the things I believe may show in the state of play, just some regular predictions and my opinions. Looking forward to watching the state of play. It's been a while since we had a long state of play from PlayStation. Hoping to see some great announcements. So thank you, sit back and enjoy. So first of all, this state of play is going to be happening tomorrow, Wednesday, February 12th, 11 p.m. If you're in Nigeria, that's 11 p.m. So a late night state of play for us. For those in the US, of course, 2 p.m. Pacific time and 5 p.m. Eastern time for Western audiences. Of course, PlayStation is heavily westernized, so they seem to be the target audience for most things. So the day after, they're going to be announcing their fiscal earnings for Q3. That's Q4 last year, Q4 October to December, and it's going to be interesting to see how their performance was. Based on the Secuna report, they seem to have done very well in the US, pacing ahead of the PS4 by around 7% currently. So they've done well. They've done well to catch up in the US, but Japan and Europe still seems to be struggling. At least due to the high cost of PS5 in Japan especially, so I kind of understand why it may be struggling. I think they needed to increase the price in Japan, maybe because there was some parallel importing to the fact that the yen was getting weaker. It's possible, and they need to make enough returns. I have here in Nigeria, I have a Japanese PS5. It was a Japanese model. It was cheaper than the European model, so that's what I got here from the local retailer. And as far as I'm concerned, it works almost the same, just different plugs. The power supply is internal, and it's universal power supply, so really makes no difference in the grand scheme of things. But when we're moving along, I think we're going to see some reduction in their forecast for the fiscal year. With Concord, I don't think they expected to sell as little as copies they sold for Concord, so I know they're going to have to reduce their forecast in terms of software sales in general. I don't think third party really made a huge difference to cover up some of the first party loss they'll have for Concord and whatnot. So maybe slight reduction, or maybe maybe not so much. Maybe they're expecting things to do really well in this Q1, but I know Assassin's Creed was delayed so previously, and maybe they are not expecting it to do so well, but it depends. Let's see how that pans out. Maybe they're expecting Assassin's Creed to really bulk up software sales this quarter, since that looks like the major game coming out this quarter. Of course, it's Civilization 7, but I think that skews more towards the PC crowd, so I don't think PlayStation will see a whole lot of software sales from that. Though games like Kingdom Come Deliverance seems to be doing well, but also a PC-centric kind of game, so they may see some good sales with PlayStation and other games. But I still think they will probably drop their forecast due to the bad launch of Concord last year. In terms of hardware forecast, I think they'll drop hardware forecast as well. They really had a high ambitious target of 18 million hardware sales this fiscal year. They are, I won't say they're on track. I can't really speak too much on that because we need to see more. We need to see more sales essentially to be able to make that decision. Once we see more sales and what they report for last quarter sales, we'll be able to talk more. But I think they're probably gonna have to reduce their forecasts for the end of the fiscal year. I don't think they're gonna meet their targets. So I think this state of play is a way to get ahead of the bad news of forecast reduction. I know some of people say investors don't what's the word, don't watch all these things, which is true. But I think, when they're doing their earnings presentation, I think this is a good way to say, okay, we have an impressive lineup of games coming up this next fiscal year. So, investors, don't worry about that. So we're going to be seeing some good wins. And yes, we know that we had to revise our forecast last fiscal year, but this fiscal year is going to be fantastic. We're expecting GTA 6. We're expecting so many games. We have some major first party games that we didn't have last fiscal year this year, so things are going to be different. And I think it's just a way to ensure that they can have something good to say for investors in this coming period. I think it's a good way to get ahead of and have a positive news to sell for investors ahead of their fiscal presentation. And of course, they can boldly say, we have a strong lineup. Even our competition is putting games on our system. And when I mean competition, I mean Xbox. And to my second point, I think we're going to see some Xbox games here, a lot actually. I think we're going to see previously announced games like Forza Horizon 5. We're going to see that here, maybe release date here. We're going to see previously announced games like Age of Mythology as well. We're mostly going to see other rumored games like Halo, Gears, and Fable. I think for Halo, they'll probably launch the Master Chief Collection. It's a good way to get PlayStation fans, into the Halo franchise if you haven't played Halo before, which I worry, but if you haven't, a good way to enter the franchise. For those who haven't played Gears, probably do Gears 1 to 3 remastered as well. Maybe they'll announce Gears 4 be brought over at a later date. For Fable, I think they probably won't release the old Fables. They'll probably just do Fable day and date for PS5 alongside Xbox Series X and S. I think that's probably what they'll do. I think Flight Simulator is also been rumored to come, so maybe that will also be announced. It's gonna be interesting to see fan reactions to Xbox games being shown on the state of play. But I think it's a good way to just speak out to the world that we're going full throttle on third party. We're going to be full multi-platform strategy. We're not concerned about losing hardware share by going to state of play or whatnot. And I don't blame them. If they play their cards right, they can make massive amounts of revenue as the biggest software publisher in gaming. And I think it may be difficult to continue to justify the hardware, Xbox having hardware, if they are doing so well, just being a software publisher. So yeah, let's wait and see. But of course, the problem is they need hardware for Game Pass. But yeah, I don't know what they'll do about that. Microsoft's looking to see how you adjust your strategy in the next fiscal year. On PlayStation side, in terms of first party games on PlayStation, I guess we're going to see Death Stranding. We're going to see release date for Death Stranding 2. I think we're probably going to get that. We're going to see some more, maybe a trailer and some gameplay information on Ghost of Yotei. Nothing too fantastic. I don't think we'll get a release date for Ghost of Yotei now. Probably later in the year we'll get a release date for that. Maybe a new IP from them. I think a new IP probably, if it's not a new in-house Sony IP, probably a new IP from one of the Chinese or Asian partnerships that they've been doing around. So something akin to Stellar Blade, they'll probably do a partnership alongside an Asian dev. So probably going to see one of that. I know that Lost Souls is looking like going to be showing there as well, but I think we're going to see something aside from Lost Souls, a new IP that they're going to be pushing. On at least publishing. It may not be their own IP, but they will just be publishing one, helping publish one in the West and whatnot. And I think finally we'll probably see something on Bloodborne. The reason why I'm saying we'll see something on Bloodborne is because they started taking down things, fan mods, issuing DMCA notice. And when you start seeing companies issue DMCA notices, especially for one that hasn't really bothered about something in the past, usually just means they have something launching very soon, and they don't want anyone infringing on their copyright and their intellectual property IP openly when they're releasing a product. So yeah, I think it's a good way to. I suspect something Bloodborne will show this state of play. A lot of people are not. They've been hoping for years and nothing has come up, but I think something on Bloodborne will come out this state of play. And maybe God of War. I don't know about that, but I think it's last God of War was in 2022. Yeah, I think time is going. I think they probably show something new as well regarding God of War. So I'm expecting some updates or something regarding God of War. Like Ragnarok was really impressive, but not too different from God of War 2018. So I think we probably see something dramatically different from Sony Santa Monica this set of play as well. That would be my my hype announcement from them. So thank you very much for listening. Looking forward to watching this state of play tomorrow. I was thinking of doing a stream, but I don't know if I can set that up yet. But we'll give it a try. See if we can get a stream going and do a watch along here on YouTube. So thank you very much. Happy watching.